guys? Welcome to episode 75 of Knee Brace Radio. It's another edition of Let's Get Weird Wednesday. It's Wednesday, March the 10th, the year 2021, presented by the Wave Media Co. Like always. Nick, how you doing, my friend?
Besides battling with this fucking webcam that keeps making me look fucking ghostly, like I'm just a set of eyes floating on a white background. I'm doing great.
I was gonna say
today's my Friday.
Friday. Happy Friday to Nick.
Yeah, I mean today's my Friday. I'm getting some days off. It's not for the best reason, but I'm getting some days off.
Days off or days off. That's what I always said.
Yeah.
Too bad you can't have a drink though. How's this march to sobriety going?
I had one weakness day.
Okay.
Tell the truth Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I got drunk on Saturday.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, look, so did I. I got drunk on Friday. I got drunk on Saturday. Actually, I went golfing Saturday, Nick.
You know what's what's one of the worst feelings is getting drunk in a month that you swore your sobriety and then hopping on to a fan-controlled football broadcast with two sobriety advocates.
Ooh, were you drunk on the stream?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and you told them like, hey, I'm going to be sober for this whole month. So did you even try to play it off, or were you just like hand up drunk caught?
No, I just didn't address it. And if they had brought it up, I would have been like, fell off the wagon. And then like, it's March 6th. And I'd be like, fell off the wagon.
I got through 6 days. That's, right. Almost a fourth of the way through the month.
Right. I still don't know if they know this. So whenever, because RJ and Monte have been listening to the pod, when they hear this will be the first they hear of it. Hand up RJ and Monte from the bottom of my heart. I don't feel great about it. But I brought out a David Boston reference.
Haven't heard that name in quite a while.
I brought out a David Boston reference from the depths of my autistic brain, and it worked. And I don't know how I did it. I compared Josh Gordon to David Boston, and they were like, dude, that's like perfect. I don't know how you brought that out. And I was like, just the way my brain works.
Just one of those things. They definitely knew. I'm just going to put that on the record. Because
why did Monte text you on the side?
No, but it's just like when you're like a teenager and you come home drunk or high and you're like, they didn't even fucking know. They didn't have a clue. And your parents are like, damn, like Kyle smelled like a skunk, huh? Like it's just the most obvious thing of all time. I feel like a guy that was an alcoholic can spot a drunk person pretty well.
Oh, I probably.
I mean, I didn't watch the stream. I know you texted me and you were like, hey, you're out of town, right? I was like, yes, definitely out of town. And then you said, hey, I'm going to be going on the stream.
I tried to shift the responsibility onto you.
And I would have been probably just as bad, if not worse. But then again, I also didn't pledge my sobriety to this month.
True.
So are you going to roll over? Or are you going to go 1 week into April?
I think it's only fair.
That's fine.
I mean, to be fair, I did do a sober karaoke stream. So like I did the drunk one. Now I did, and then I did a sober one. Sober one, way less electric. I'll go ahead and say that.
Viewership dropped.
Absolutely.
Mightily.
I mean, the drunk one never dropped below 8 viewers.
This one never got to 8.
Hung around 2.
And one of them was me. Well, Nick, tell the truth. I played golf.
Okay. Not great, huh?
Better than you think. The first tee box, I hit a drive and it went straight. And I was like, holy shit. So if we're gonna be honest.
Did you get the ping?
Yeah, I did.
Because that's always that's what brings you back every time.
So
I am god awful at golf.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't play often, you're going to be bad. But this is how superstitious and how dumb I am. I was at the driving range beforehand. I got a bucket of balls. Everybody that was there got a bucket of balls. I hit probably like 7 balls, and they all went straight. And I said, that's it. In my mind, if I kept hitting, I was going to use up all my straight shots. So I just
Yeah, that's how
stopped.
that works. You have a set amount of straight shots in your body, and you don't want to use them all up. Hell, if that's me after the first one, I'm good. I'm good. I'm don't want to use those up.
Well, the guys, because we played captain's ball, and it was A player, B player, C player, D player. I was the D, and they were like, "Well, I want to see your swing." And I was like, if there's nothing I could fix here, we're not going to fix it out on the course." But it was essentially I did the Trump where Donald Trump was like, your life's like a battery. You don't want to use it all up at once. And I mean, say what you want about Trump. That's something we can all live by. You don't want to use up all your energy at one shot.
And hey, I mean, again, say what you will about Trump. I'm a firm believer that this heart only has a set amount of beats.
Mm-hmm.
And when I get that thing going, I'm using them up.
Yeah, exactly. It's the old, the pitcher's only got so many bullets in the arm. I only had so many straight shots. Nick, the first tee box I hit a straight drive, and I heard someone behind me on one of the other groups go, "He's sneaky athletic, I'll tell you that much." And
that's all you needed. That's all you needed.
My dick almost touched my nose. I was so hard. At that moment, there was nothing in the world that anybody could tell me. I was the next fucking Tiger Woods. I hit
you swung. You swung. They said it, and you held it. You held the pose.
Oh, I was like Big
twirled
Poppy.
The club.
Yeah, I was like Big Poppy. I was like Tiger, Rory, whoever does the best club twirl. I don't even know. Brooks, we'll say Brooks Koepka has a nice one. And then got through like 9 holes. They used a few of my shots. I was like, oh my God, things are going pretty well for me. Things are on the up and up. Until we got to a hole that had a highway directly to the left of it.
And you said, I'm telling you, don't hit the highway. Don't hit the highway.
Well, that's what I kept saying. And I kept saying, guys, I don't want to tee off. I don't want to tee off. And they're like, who cares if you hit it on the highway? I said, me. Because when I have to go to 17 separate funerals for the 18-car pileup that I cause, I'm going to feel pretty guilty. So I kept saying in my head, just don't hit it on the highway. You know what that did? Brought my slice back like a motherfucker. I hit a ball onto the next tee box. Like it was like the next tee box was maybe 100 yards up on the right-hand side. I could have killed somebody. I don't know. I didn't see a dead body when I walked up, but those first 9 holes, baby, I was feeling myself. Hit a couple nice putts. I was doing pretty well.
I played golf. I haven't played in like probably 2 or 3 years, but I used to play golf with my boss, and he's like, he golfs every chance he gets. Like as soon as the weather touches 55 degrees, he's out golfing. And he's a short, little, old Italian man. And he's bald, and he's sneaky angry. He has this sneaky fire within him, and like I'm telling you, dude, whenever he gets pissed off at the ball, he's so short and stocky. He swings the ever loving shit out of that club, and he doesn't miss often. Like when he connects when he's mad, that the ball goes.
He could be in a long drive competition.
Yeah. And there was one time, we got up to a tee box, and I mean, like I said, I am free, so free, absolutely fucking dog water at golf. I didn't grow up playing club sports. By club, I mean like hand-eye coordination sports. I played football, I played rugby, I played bury my head into somebody's fucking chest. Nice.
Or into their ass. Hey-o.
And so I just don't have the mechanics for it. But let me tell you, there's the one shot that kept me coming back, where it was a drive, and just everything came together one time, and I absolutely launched it. Got the beautiful like the ping, and just it fucking took off, and it was straight. And like you said, my dick could have touched my nose. And then my boss teed off, and I outdrove him.
Oh, I'm sure he was happy about that.
Oh my dude, you want to know there was probably 6 holes left. Every time he drove, like whenever someone's like, when they're small and they're angry and they swing their fucking dick off, and they're
grunting.
Yeah.
He almost shit himself. He was swinging so hard.
Yes, absolutely. Every fucking shot. And I swear to God, he could have beat fucking Bryson DeChambeau this past weekend with his drive.
It's also awkward when you're playing with somebody that's better than you and you hit a better shot than them, because it's like, You couldn't do that, huh?
Oh,
Um,
I talk shit. I mean, I had to.
oh
That was
yeah,
my
I
one
mean,
moment.
absolutely. There's no way around it. But
Otherwise,
yeah,
I'm
dude.
just out there fucking landscaping.
Oh yeah, dude. I may have walked 20. I mean, we had a cart, but I may have walked 20 miles trying to find my ball in the last like 8 or 9 holes.
I mean, I had to get a new like like the sand they use to like put the
Mhm.
divots back. I probably had to refill that thing 2 or 3 times.
Just like it's like you know how like in Russia they just like trade out like the bottles, beer bottles. You can just give them like a whole bunch and they just give you a brand new case of beer because
Yep.
they recycle them. That's what you were doing. You were driving up to the window and it was just like a quick exchange. They're
Yeah.
like, oh, here
I
comes
was like,
that Nick
I
guy.
need more sand.
They're like, sir,
I
it's your
need more
third bottle.
grass seed.
We're gonna have to cut you off. But yeah, dude, it was weird because it was like COVID, everything that's going on. Like you didn't really have to wear masks or anything.
Well, you're outdoors.
We're yeah, I mean we're a year into COVID. There is just some things now that I don't know if I'll ever do again. I
Yeah,
will,
no, because you take a step back and you're like, wow, that's fucking disgusting.
dude. So bowling is one of them, which I'll get to in a minute. But as I was thinking about making the list of what we're going to talk about, 4th of July, not this past year, but the year before, we were out on the lake. Now, when I get drunk, I will shotgun a beer, but I open it with my teeth. And we were just out on the lake, a bunch of random strangers, and a guy saw me do that. So he brought me his beer can. I put it in my mouth, used my teeth to open the beer can for him, and gave it back to him. Then he shotgunned a beer. Imagine doing that in the COVID world that we live in.
Couldn't be me. But
Could
I
not be.
got one better for you. When I was in training in Texas, we befriended a college rugby team because I mean, as I said, I used to play rugby, so I can relate with the guys. And I mean, I was a little bit older. I was drinking age, so therefore I was useful.
Mhm. You
Um,
were old guy Nick.
yeah, I was old guy, beer guy, Nick.
Mhm.
Um, and rugby's fucking gross.
Yes, it is.
Rugby houses, especially gross. Um, we used to do a thing called a shoey,
Oh, I've heard of that.
where we have rugby songs, and if you fuck up the rugby song, um, whoever is the senior of the group takes off their shoe, and everyone contributes to said shoe with whatever alcoholic beverage they're drinking, and spit if they want.
That's fucking disgusting, Nick.
And I've done a shoey or two.
It sounds an awful lot like you were just in a fraternity. Are you sure you weren't at a fraternity house?
It's potato tomato.
Okay. More or
Uh,
less the same thing.
yeah, but I mean rugby house, frat house, same fucking thing. Um, it was fucking gross. It was it was absolutely
Well,
disgusting.
I have
Looking back, I'm ashamed.
I have habitual athlete's foot. Like I've just had it since I came out of the womb. So whoever drank out of my shoe, you're fucked. Just getting a fungal infection down your throat.
Yeah, no, I'm into it. I probably have it.
Can I have you're the first ever documented yeast infection in your throat, though?
I
Actually,
have athlete's throat.
probably
Oh,
not the first. Imagine, as I said, yeast infection throat. Like I got a really gross image in my head that I'm not going to say on the podcast. But what are some normal things? Like I've been watching movies now and watching shows, and I'm like not wearing a mask, and then I'm like, oh, well, this was filmed in 1999. Like there's no reason to be wearing a mask if they only
touching
knew.
door handles.
Touching door handles. Again, bowling is fucking gross. What would you do? Throw a bowling ball that everybody stuck their fucking hand in?
There's no way to really sanitize that. There's no.
No, absolutely not. And then what do you immediately do? You go and grab a handful of nachos. You grab a handful of cheesy
Eating
fries.
a hot dog.
A hot dog. You're grabbing everybody's beer. You're grabbing 3 beers at once. You're doing the claw and you're putting your finger in the beer in the mouth holes. Ugh. It's just gross. Just disgusting.
Top golf with the shared golf clubs.
Count me out.
Couldn't be me.
No, I might just go. What was it? Was it the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady golf outing where they just everybody was wearing 2 gloves the entire time because it was like during the beginning of COVID, nobody knew exactly what was going on.
They're just making it up as they go.
But how fucking crazy! So this time last year, the past weekend last year was the last time it was like a normal weekend we went out. I remember we were out.
It was your
just having-
birthday. Your
Yeah, it was my
birthday.
birthday.
I was invited. Didn't
Yeah,
go.
could have met my mom. My mom came out to the bars with us.
Oh, I bet
And
that was a sight to see.
it was, they were like, they tried to, so she went to walk in the bar and they were like, man, we need to see your ID. And she said,
she said,
literally
"That's
laughed. She said, no, it's exactly what she said. She said, that's cute. That's my son. And tried to walk in and like basically got shoulder checked by a bouncer. And they were like, it's not a joke. And my mom's like, oh, okay.
I don't know what it is about bars. Brings out the ugly in me.
The ugly in you?
Yeah, brings out the ugly in me because if someone shoulder checks my mom at a bar, don't care if it's the bouncer, I'm on your back
Well,
like a spider monkey.
I mean, it wasn't like an aggressive, it was like more of a, maybe it was more of a slide, we'll say.
A slide like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
No one saw what Nick did except for me, but it was a perfect slide. It was almost like the dance in Remember the Titans where they did the wrist twirl and then a slide. That's kind of what the bouncer did to my mom. But I've realized when I reach a certain level of drunk, and I don't know how many beers it is, because I didn't have a single ounce of liquor this weekend, I just crave dip. I don't know why. I haven't put a dip in probably in almost 10 years, Nick.
I'm proud of you.
But when I hit like, maybe it's like beer 10, maybe it's beer 11, somewhere in there, I'm like, you know what I could really go for? Some wintergreen. And you know what tastes like wintergreen? Dip. Every single fucking time. I don't know why it is.
Do you carry around gum with you?
Nope.
That might be your little, your
My go-to, my saver.
yeah, your I don't know, your fake pussy. I don't know. It's your pocket pussy.
Well, I used to carry fake dip. I used to do fake dip when I would play
Like
baseball.
Black Buffalo?
No, that had nicotine in it. Like actual like it was like fucking putting horse hairs in your mouth. You have to be like, that's exactly what you had to do the second you put it in your mouth. It was awful and it tasted bad, but it made me not have like that oral fixation to put a dip in. Again, I don't know where this came from, but it is what it is. Have you ever
call it
noticed
an addiction for a reason?
I mean, but I've probably put in like less than 50 dips in my entire life.
Oh,
I don't even like the feeling of dipping. It makes me dizzy, and then I immediately go right into a panic attack. So that's not fun.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, nothing better than having a drunk panic attack, right? In a place where nobody really knows you, at least. Do you have any cravings like that, like a cigarette or anything? That was another one. I went through a phase where I didn't even breathe it into my lungs. I would smoke a cigarette like a cigar, but I was like, I need a cigarette.
That's the most Chad college thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it is
But,
what it is.
I mean, it's probably indicative of who I am as a person, but like I crave like really bad food.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like whenever I come to see you in Charlotte, we finish up the bar crawl. The absolute first stop, not the bathroom, not the bed, not the hotel room, not anywhere. The absolute first stop when we wrap up at the bar, cookout. It has to be cookout.
Of course.
No other stop.
You lost your friend that you brought. He was in a city where he had never been in, and you left him to go get cookout. Granted,
because he punched me.
And the famous line that Nick had, he walked into my house. My sister, who had known Nick maybe 4 hours, Nick looks at my sister and goes, he punched me in the mouth. I got my braces off last month. You know what it's like to be an adult with braces? And you know what, Nick? You had a point there. I think at that point you can leave him, but did you or did you not bite him on the shoulder?
I did. I didn't say the punch wasn't warranted, but he punched me.
Fair
so
enough.
I did a very passive aggressive thing. I bought him a beer and I said, I bought him, step 1, bought him beer. Step 2, sent him the hotel address. Step 3, left the situation.
Until his phone was dead.
Huh?
Until his phone died and he was
Until
lost.
his phone died. If you ask me, that is a very mature way to diffuse the situation.
That's fair. That is fair. Now, I did get heated about something else this weekend, and I wasn't really exactly sure how to diffuse the situation because it's something I should have not been mad about, but I was.
Okay. Lola
Lola Bunny isn't hot anymore.
Yeah, if I can't jerk off to an anthropomorphic bunny, I don't want to be here anymore.
This just isn't for me. Add it to the checklist of things LeBron is fucked up, and why I hate him. Lola Bunny being not hot anymore is probably number one.
I mean, I'm trying not to regurgitate takes that I've heard, but I mean, if I ever hear the rumblings of a remake of Roger Rabbit, and
Nick's
they
driving out to California,
and they leak a Jessica Rabbit,
mm-hmm.
and Jessica Rabbit doesn't look like Jessica Rabbit, take away my sharp objects.
Yeah, no, I put Nick on. I'm not on murder watch. We'll say, because he might do something that he's going to regret. Now, I think it's weird, but it's also something that's I've talked to like 50 guys that have all said it. They're like, Lola Bunny was like one of my first crushes, and like, why? Like, how is that possible as a kid?
It's
like,
just
it's not real.
It's the one scene. It's literally just one. It's like we're hyping up Lola Bunny because of one scene. And it's whenever like she's playing one-on-one against Bugs, and she fucking sauces him up, and he's sitting on the ground, and she's like, and she says something, bub, and you're like,
oh, just makes your skin crawl in a good way.
Yeah.
It's weird, dude, because like when you're a little kid, you have a crush on Lola Bunny. When you're an adult and you watch anime porn, you are a psychopath. Like you need to be locked up. But it's like, you crawl before you can walk, right? That like it's like I always wondered if guys that were like BMX.
It's a crossroads. It's a crossroads. So
that's true.
You see Lola Bunny and you're like, wow, girls are hot. Or you go, wow, cartoon bunnies are hot.
Yeah.
It's one or two ways.
Marge Simpson is in your future. But I always kind of thought like it's one of those things where it's like the next logical step isn't always logical, because it's like the guys that, in your high school that had like their BMX gang, right? When they got their licenses, next step logically, they should have just been a motorcycle gang. But again, it doesn't happen. A motorcycle gang is a lot more normal than a guy who watches Family Guy porn, but still, Lola Bunny being taken away from me. I don't even have a kid to watch Space Jam with, but I just remember I had Space Jam shoes as a child and Lola Bunny was on them. And I always remember my dad like teasing me. He'd be like, oh, you like Lola Bunny? I was like, no, but deep down you do. And it's weird and no one can figure out why, but it's something that all guys go through. It's like when at one point in their life, most guys thought they were gay, at least for like 5 minutes one time.
It's almost like the Macklemore song. When I was in the 3rd grade, I thought that I was gay.
Because you could draw.
Because I could draw and I kept my room straight.
I remember the first time someone ever called me gay, no offense to our gay friends and gay listeners, but I was just like, am I? And that's like, again, every little kid, just like it goes right in your head.
It's indicative of those. I mean, if we want to be, if we want to take a step away from being funny and be metaphysical about this, it's indicative of the society we grew up in, where being called gay was the worst thing you could be called.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a little kid, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was the worst. And I mean, I'm glad that we've reached a point now where like if someone calls you gay, you're like, yeah, I am.
Again, Chris DiStefano, he's been mentioned on 3 consistent podcasts, has a line where he's like, I make love to women, I have my relationships with men. And it's like, it's the old Family Guy skit where it was like, hey, Brian, why don't we do everything we do with girls just with guys? He's like, it's called being gay. He's like, I think I'd like to be gay. If we could just hang out with the bros just all day long, but you have your sexual relations with your females, and if you're gay, then cool, hang out with the gay guys. But that would be the life. Not going to lie. Just do everything you do with girls, with guys, except for the sex.
It's crossed my mind where I was like, if this doesn't work out,
you could just get it's like
me and a friend actually have an agreement. We're like, if this doesn't work out, we can just be together.
Yeah, I mean, look, no strings attached whatsoever.
Hey, maybe a half-hearted string attached.
Yeah, like gotta put something in place, right? But we'll cross that road when you get there, type thing.
Right, like a half-hearted, half-asleep string.
So, speaking of things that, you said if things don't work out. Now, if things don't work out, you're going to have to divvy up your money, because that's what happens. Jeff Bezos' ex-wife, just made some science teacher the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
How does that even, like... How do you just stumble into that?
That guy, I think he's got 2 kids and is a science teacher and is now worth 54 billion and $60,000 because that's all that man probably had to his name before that. But 54 billion fucking dollars, Nick. What did he do? Were you guys like going for the same carrot in the produce section of Whole Foods? Like, how do you meet her? She's just got to be on such another playing field. It's unreal.
To be fair, if I saw her in a supermarket, I wouldn't recognize her.
Oh no, of course not. She's not like.
I mean, maybe
she's not Lola Bunny or anything.
Right? Yeah, she's not gonna stop traffic.
Yeah,
but if I saw her and put myself in his shoes, I'm no longer Nick. I'm, Mr. fucking Mr. Schneebly, the science teacher. I'm Ned Schneebly, the science teacher, and now I'm doing some shopping, some light shopping, light shopping, heavy petting. That's the name of their next video. light shopping, heavy petting. Doing some light shopping, and I run into a nice woman of similar age. And I'm like, I also like rutabagas. And she's like, what a coincidence.
Nobody like rutabagas. How about rutabang me? And he's like, okay.
I like how you just turned this into a Pornhub video. Rutabagas, and you're like, oh, no one eats rutabagas anymore. Like, yeah, it's they're pretty close to potatoes. You can make French fries out of them, and they're like, and then all of a sudden, a blossoming of love grows out of rutabagas, and then maybe she does say, "Rutabang me,"
on the second date,
and out of nowhere, she's like, "Hey, I recently came into some money."
He's like, oh, would your grandpa just die or something? No,
something like that. Something like that.
It's like, how do you pronounce that last name? It seems familiar.
Is that Bezos? Bezos.
Yeah. It's French.
And and she's like, no, I'm worth like $54 billion. The pressure on Mr. Hypothetical Ned Schneebly to never fuck that up. Like, if he was on Tinder or Hinge or, Christian Minecraft server, whatever he was on, just delete.
Oh, of course. Just throw your phone into the ocean.
Yeah, just restart. Like, and then you can pull off the riffraff. Where my main goal is to blow up. Then act like I don't know nobody.
I think I kind of have the cheat code to being with somebody. It doesn't even have to be like the opposite sex or somebody you're dating. Like, take whoever, Dave Portnoy, for example. If I ever ran into Dave Portnoy and somehow worked my way into dinner with him, I think the trick is pick up the check. No matter, it could be $3,000. You pick up the entire check, and it's like, did we just become best friends? I think that's like,
I feel like that's a played out move. I feel like he's like you're trying too hard, man. You're trying.
I really don't.
My move, because
split the bill,
split it right in half,
50-50. Yeah, it's like don't worry about the bottle of champagne you got. Don't worry about that.
Split it right down the middle, man.
I got the grilled asparagus appetizer. You got the bottle of champagne. It balances out.
You're amongst friends. Let's just split it right down the middle, half and half.
Yeah. What's your Venmo?
Yeah, or not even that. Just split the check.
Yeah.
Well, clean break.
Just right down the middle. That's not. Maybe you're right, Nick. Maybe it's just picking up the whole check is too much, but splitting it that could be it.
Because I feel like whenever you pick up the whole check, you're looking for a favor. You're looking for Dave. Now you're looking for Dave to do something for you because you paid for dinner.
Yeah.
But whenever you split it right down the middle, hey, guess what? You're equals. And guess what friends are? Friends are equals.
We're amongst family. Maybe you're even eating at Olive Garden because when you're there, you're family.
Your family.
Exactly. But it's one of those things. Sometimes you just fall ass backwards into luck, and I can't hate on them. I can't. Would you rather have that or to hit the lottery solo? Because if you hit it solo, that's all your money, right? You don't ever have to worry about another divorce. That prenup probably fucking came out. it was like, hey, will you marry me? And she's like, yes. Will you sign this? Immediately, she was just carrying it around with her for like a week. But which would you rather? Would you rather marry somebody with a ton of money or win like the lottery and it's $100 million, but it's all your own?
I like the autonomy of winning the lottery by myself. Like
Yeah,
it's
just
sure
no pressure.
it is fractional of the amount of money that I don't even Mrs. Former Bezos.
Yes.
Um, it's a fraction of her wealth,
Mm-hmm.
but it's my
You,
money. And you know what? $100 million. That's enough to get in the door with Mrs. Bezos, Mrs.
yes.
X Bezos.
So,
That's enough to get in the same social circle and be like, yeah, hey, how's it going? I like the Preakness as well.
mm-hmm. Oh, is that a Gulf Stream? I just bought one of those myself not too long ago. Um, how much? I would like to know what $100 million to her is compared to us. Is that like 15 bucks or like $2?
Okay,
Probably closer to two than
you're gonna make me
15.
do math, and I resent that. But
But it's got to be closer to two than like 15.
right, so $1 billion is $1 million,
Yes.
right?
I think it's 1,000 millions. I'm
Oh
pretty
man,
sure a billion is 1,000 millions.
I'm really bad at math.
Oh, so am I. I mean, I failed freshman math as a junior in
Yeah, no, I
college.
guess you're right. If it's $999 million, it's okay, it's 1,000 million. So therefore, $100 million, that's like 0.01%.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably like I said, like close to like $2 to $5 range to a normal person.
Yeah,
Mr. Science teacher.
she could drop $100 million, like the classic Bill Gates, trope,
Yeah, where it's like
where
drop $100. It's not worth it to pick it up because you made 150 in the time it takes.
right, and the time it takes you to bend over and pick it up, you've already cost yourself money.
So so Jeff Bezos, even after the divorce, is still the richest man in the world, right?
Absurd, but yes.
And then Elon Musk is number two, I want to say.
I don't I don't know that he is. I know Elon Musk is rich.
I thought he was worth like 50 billion. I could be completely and totally wrong here. But Elon Musk seems like he'd be way more fun to hang out with than Jeff Bezos.
I mean, I feel like Jeff Bezos is so secretive, and I mean, like, he had that like that side piece, and I mean, his sex came out, didn't they?
I think so. And they were very lame. You know, it was really bad sex that got kind of swept under the rug because it was like Internet 1.0.
Mhm.
Tiger Woods sex were really bad.
I mean, Tiger was just like to pee on people.
Yeah, I mean, but it was just cringeworthy as well. But Elon Musk seems, I don't know if he would be fun to hang out with or scary to hang out with. Because
Elon Musk's net worth is estimated to be $79.4 billion.
Founder of PayPal. That's what happens.
Mark Zuckerberg is
more like Mark Zucker suck because that dude sucks.
His net worth passed $100 billion.
Well, he's not worth that much anymore, right? I don't think.
Zuckerberg, I have no idea.
Well, I guess the old saying, no such thing as bad press, the social network didn't do him in. Nothing will.
$193.4 billion for Jeff Bezos.
Dude, that's so much money.
Yeah. Bill Gates, 131 billion.
Little bitch.
My wife's boss, Warren Buffett, 82.3 billion.
I don't know what I would do with that much money, but I can tell you this much, Nick. I would have a residency in Vegas and just bet on everything. And we're coming up.
Here's my thing. Dude, I would be such a cool. I mean, that's why I'm not a billionaire.
I mean,
because I would do so much cool shit.
Mm-hmm. That's the only logical reason why you aren't a billionaire, because you'd just be too cool.
It's not my work ethic. It's not coming from means or like being innovative. No, it's none of that. It's because I'm too cool to be a billionaire.
Exactly. That's what my issue always was too. I was kind of that same thing. But I would be in Vegas betting on everything, and especially this time of the year, because it's fucking we're balling like it's March Madness, Nick. As a wise man, a wise poet once said, "Balling like it's March Madness," aka future. Are you a March Madness guy or no?
I used to be more of a March Madness guy, but as it stands, I mean, I'm less than I used to be. So I don't. I mean, I was driving down to your house whenever UMBC beat UVA,
Mhm.
which was electric. I was listening. I was actually listening to that game while I was driving.
You were like in the 1920s listening to a game. Like I've never heard of anybody listening to a college basketball game. Now listening to professional baseball is great, but I would be if I was you, I would have been pissed at me because you had to drive all the way down to my house and miss the only time it's ever happened a 16 upsetting a
I mean,
one.
I was listening to it and it was good enough. Just like, hey, shoots, hey, scores. Like that's. I mean, that's fine.
It was the where were you moment. You were like, I was like in Statesville, North Carolina, like driving down
I
the
was
highway.
driving through Blacksburg, Virginia.
Um, I'm excited for March Madness. I think we're gonna have one of our old friends on the pod in the next couple weeks once the brackets are announced to kind of go over not just the gambling side, but where he thinks there's value and all that good stuff. I'm excited though. I think I'm even more excited because we didn't have it last year. Um, it's the Counting Crow song. You paved paradise and you put up a parking lot. We didn't know what we had until it was gone, Nick. And not having March Madness, it hurts.
It's like the Cranberry song. Do you have to let it linger?
Have to. You have to let it linger. Fun fact, and I tweeted this out. I was 27 years old when I learned that it was you paved paradise and put up a parking lot, not paid for paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah, I haven't. You said that, and I was like, no idea what the words are for that. Wait, it's you paved paradise and
And
put
put
up a
up a
park.
parking lot, which makes sense.
Okay,
But
no, I got it. No, I knew that. I knew that the whole time.
but if you paid for paradise, you could also put up a parking lot. I mean, you pay for whatever you want. You can put whatever you want there
You could if you paid for it.
if you paid for it. So
It's yours.
young,
You bought it.
it was one of those things where the next logical step just didn't happen in my brain. It's like, oh, I heard that song when I was 8. And then when I was like 20,
Are you sure that's Counting Crows?
100%. Because they
I,
all
for the longest time, thought that was Uncle Cracker.
definitely not.
I,
Give me the Beat Boys
are
and free my
you
soul.
sure?
I want to get lost in your dumbass brain because that is definitely not the right words. It's because it's them. It's like Mr. Jones and Me, and then that, or like their top songs.
Yeah.
Mr. Jones and Me. It's definitely not how they sound. But
I'll be damned. It is a Counting Crows song. It's Counting Crows and Vanessa Carlton.
is she the person that sung 1,000 Miles?
Yes.
All-time movie scene. All-time movie scene. I know we got a little bit off track there because we were talking about billionaires and millionaires, all that stuff. Dak Prescott. We're getting a little sports talk in here.
Hey, we're going from billionaires to millionaires.
Yes. Fucking poor bitch. Dak Prescott. Back. Get the Brinks truck. Just back it up for him.
126 million guaranteed.
So does Jerry Jones not know how salary caps work? Because you can't just pay everybody a whole bunch of money.
But here's the thing. I think Jerry Jones has done a lot of things right.
Go on. That's a first. No one's ever said that.
I
just took a sip of water and was choked on it.
Don't get me wrong. Jerry Jones has made mistakes, but I think he's doing the right thing. You have to pay the quarterback. You have to. So far he's paid the quarterback, the tailback, the wide receiver, a defensive end, a linebacker, and I can't think of anyone else. But you have to pay these positions. These are the cornerstones of a good team. And I mean,
no, they're not. They're 100% not, Nick.
You need a good pass rusher, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Yes,
you need
do.
a good linebacker, Jalen Smith. You need
that's where it could. Yes, so yes, you do. But you could also get a guy for cheap that could plug it.
I mean, fair, but you could also have a guy that's elite.
Okay, all right, keep going. So I agree with the first two then.
Okay, you need a quarterback.
You do, but most teams win with quarterback friendly contracts or guys that are in their rookie deals still.
But see, here's the thing. I think depending on how Dallas drafts this year, this is a pivot year for them. They've paid the quarterback. Now they need to fill out the positions around him, which they have. They have an all-pro running back, Ezekiel Elliott, all-pro.
And guess what happens when you pay a running back? They suck. What was it? The last 2 Super Bowls, they had undrafted guys playing running back.
Yeah. And
I mean, don't get me wrong. Zeke's I don't know if he's a generational running back, but he's a very, very good running back. One of the best in the league.
A year or two ago, he was a generational running back.
And then he got fat. So is he gonna get skinny?
But I think this year coming up, if they draft, so obviously they have to look at defense and they have to look at a swing tackle. Because their offensive line was mangled with injuries this past year. I think if they draft a guy like Patrick Surtain or Farley out of Virginia Tech at the number 10 spot and sort of, I don't know, plug up that leaky defense they had last year, that the pass defense that was terrible. That safety Diggs that they drafted or signed. What the fuck was he doing? He was lost. And I
got
feel
paid,
like
though.
I don't know. I don't know if he was a rookie. I think he might have been a rookie.
Yeah, well, if that's the case, didn't get paid then.
Yeah, but anyways, I think Dallas is if their roster can play the way that they're supposed to, because I mean, if they just tote the rock with Ezekiel Elliott the way they did when they went 13-3, where they ran the ball, passed when they had to, and played good defense, I think they're right on the doorstep.
Yeah, but teams don't win with paying running backs and paying wide receivers. It's been like documented thousands of times. Like it literally, they just doesn't work. Plus, I don't really like paying a guy who just had fucking a brutal injury and you're not even sure how he's going to come back. I would have fucking paid him a boatload of money for a 2-year deal and see how he is. Like a 2-year deal with like the second year being a team option. But he gets a ton of money guaranteed.
Well, Dak wanted a 5-year contract, but they
wanted to give him a 6, or
they gave him 4. They gave him 4.
I thought it was the other way around. I thought that the team wanted to give him 5, but he wanted 4. I thought he wanted a shorter contract.
No, he wanted 5, and
Okay.
but they counted last year on the franchise tag one of the years on the contract.
Okay.
So they signed him for 4. So the AAV I think breaks out to be like $38 million a year.
A lot of fucking money.
Yeah, but it's not the most in the league.
No, it's not. But so Mahomes is the most, right?
Right.
What's he at? He's at 40?
I think he's at 45.
45, which he's worth the money. 100%. But I don't know. I mean, time will tell what happens. It's not that I hate paying Dak. It's that you're paying Dak so much money when you fucking paid a running back that, again, I know that he's a very, very good running back. And like I said, 2 years ago was a generational back. But backs have just become expendable. They really have.
Who would you want instead of Dak? Who would you want?
No, I mean, you're right there at this moment. If he's 100% healthy, there's nobody else that is better than him. The big question mark is the man fucking exploded his ankle.
Right.
And you have to see if he's going to come back off of it. That's why I would have paid him a boatload of money for 2 years to see how it is. If not, you cut your ties and you move on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, but like it
sounds like you're saying that. Sounds an awful lot like it. No, but again, I'm not Jerry Jones. I'm not jacking off into shoes like he once did. So again,
not a billionaire. Say he did some things wrong.
Hey, look, the man jacked off into some shoes, but he's worth more money than all of us combined. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Time will tell. I'm excited. I've been looking at mock drafts still. I don't know why I look at mock drafts. There's no reason to, because every single day they change. But it's mock draft season almost. March Madness. Things are popping off, Nick. Things are popping off. So, but it's getting late. It's 10 o'clock, Nick. 10 p.m. I got to go to bed soon. I got to take my Zone In CBD that our good friend Lofa gave us, and I got to go Betty Bye. So until then, I'll talk to you on Saturday. How's that sound?
Sounds good, man.
All right. Talk to you later.
See you.
We forgot to do the fucking outro. Leave this in. Where can the people find you online, Nick?
Oh, shit. Wait. Okay. All right. Where can the people find me online? They can find me twitch.tv/kneebrace radio. You can catch me on Twitter at Fumblin' Bumblin'. Instagram, you can catch me at if I had one with underscores between all of it.
Perfect. Kyle_Craig4 on Instagram, Kyle_Craig36 on Twitter. All social medias at Knee Brace Radio. Give us a like, follow, tell your mother, brother, cousin, sister, aunt, and uncle. We need to blow this bitch up. I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but somebody said
we need to blow this popsicle stand.
Yeah, because somebody on Twitter said that we replaced Pardon My Take as their weekly listen. Which
you told me that yesterday, and I was like, "That's too much. Like that's again, a lot."
Another time where like Boner could have touched my nose right there. So
yeah,
you know who you are, who DM'd us, but
same day. Someone told me that we were Barstool Light.
Oh my goodness!
And like they said it to try to hurt my feelings. And I was like, "Hey, I'll take that.
That's a great compliment.
I'll take that."
Was it somebody in the Twitch chat or was it?
No, this was someone that
our friend,
a friend of ours, and he was
wow.
like he would. So here I'll break down the conversation. He said, I brought up Breaking Bad because I was trying to get RJ Mitty on the show, the guy who played Walter Jr.
Okay.
And I was like, the guy from Breaking Bad, the guy that played Walter Jr. He said, yeah. Didn't he have polio?
And
I was like,
he's not in an iron lung.
I was like, did you just fucking polio? Polio? I didn't know we were in 1912. I literally said 1912. I'm not kidding.
Great
word
minds
for
think
word,
alike.
I said 1912. I said, what are we in, like fucking 1912? Fucking polio? And he was like, he said something else. And I was like, it's cerebral palsy. And he was like, oh, they're both neurological. He was like, I was close. And I was like, no, not at all.
There hasn't been a documented case of polio in the United States in 60 years.
50, 60 years. And then I was like, you fucking idiot. But I was like, anyways, what I was going to say was RJ Mitty, he had cerebral palsy and he was fitted for leg braces and crutches, but just fucking alphaed his way through it.
He Forrest Gumped it.
Yeah, essentially he did.
Real life Forrest.
And he played sports and stuff, and he strengthened his body, and he didn't need crutches or any kind of walking aid. And he was like, I hate the fact that you said alpha. It's like, you fucking Chad. And I was like, well, you're a fucking weeb. And then he was like, okay, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you guys are just fucking Barstool Light. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah. Little do you know, you're stroking our ego.
I will take that.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, this has gone off the rails.
It has. No one can hurt me like I can hurt me.
No. Look, wood chips, baby. Hard to break. Talk to you later.
All right, man. See you.
See you.